I saw an interview a couple weeks ago with Dr. Wayne Dyer was talking about with Oprah how he had became ill. I think it was leukemia or something. And he basically turned to a doctor in Central America or South America who did some sort of energy healing with him from across the continent. And one of the prerequisites for this distant surgery, basically, he was in Hawaii and the doctor was actually in South America, was that he took some certain minerals before the surgery and that he couldn't eat pork. And I know that in Islam and in Judaism, pork is a big no-no. And I'm really concerned right now with my energy moving and growing and so forth. Are there certain foods and things like that would...
Well, the prerequisite for that alignment is expectation and belief. So if someone who you believe is offering you something of value and they suggest a behavior that you believe and apply and then expect, then there is alignment. But you have to know, if you had the ability to examine all of the recoveries and all of the variety of all of the methodology, you would find such diversity in it that you would understand that it cannot be about the action. Okay. Now, we've been talking all day here about the grid filling in, and that when you have accomplished a vibration that is in alignment with who you really are, that then different things will come to fill in the grid. And so that's why a different doctor with a different methodology, that's why all of them are appropriate under different vibrational grid conditions. You see what we're getting at?
Yes. So, and I know that there's supposed to be like a shift in energy going on, and I guess this current decade of energy, and I'm definitely a part of that because I know that I am God's source incarnated.
Yes.
And my life is beautiful and it's perfect and everything is just going wonderful, and I live everything that you're teaching, and I thank you for that clarity, helping me get there. And I just wanted to make sure that I was in alignment with that lining up of understanding that each one of us have our own, I guess, creating force for stuff like that, because I'm hearing all kinds of things about how certain foods and things can affect our ascension, more or less.
Let's start in another place about this. So we have established today, and you are vibrationally up to speed with it, this concept that you are a vibrational offerer, and that what you offer is coming back to you. And we've made it easier and easier to understand as we talk about this vibrational basis, and we call it the grid. And then when you get your thoughts around the idea of the grid filling in, that once you establish a basis that the grid fills in, isn't it logical that there could be all kinds of different people wanting and having all kinds of different experiences that are offering essentially this basic vibrational grid of well-being, and that depending upon what's in their vortex, it would fill in perfection to each individual.
Okay, so we're all on point then.
So what makes it confusing for people is that you want to examine everyone's vortex, or even more, you want to examine everyone's manifestations, and you want to determine once and for all what are the appropriate manifestations, what are the appropriate actions, what should we eat, what words should we say, what mantras should we offer, where should we live, and that's going about it in a backwards manner, because from this buffet of potential grid filling in,
Okay.
There is this basis that will fill in with the variety that is appropriate to each individual given what their life has caused them to put into the vortex.
I love that. I love that I can put my head in the sand and ignore the rest of the world and still feel the joy and the glory of just being one with Source.
Well, you don't necessarily even want to put your head in the sand because you'd miss a lot of good stuff.
No. I still stay aware. But you know what I mean.
But you do want to ignore
right,
the unwanted because attention to the unwanted will activate a grid that will fill in with things that you don't want. And so this has been a very good discussion here today, hasn't it?
Yes.
Because you're coming to understand that the diverse world,
yes, my life is not without contrast. I love it. I marvel in it. It is.
It makes you feel this conscious awareness of the okayness with the different choices that people are making.
Absolutely.
And it takes away from you the feeling of need or responsibility to get everybody to behave so that you can observe a better world.
Yes.
And it puts you in this powerful place that you know from your God position that there is value in everything, and that out of the contrast comes true goodness, and that you can align with that goodness and it will continue to reflect in many different ways in your life experience.
Amen. I love it.
It's nice to be in a position where you can, from your core perspective of feeling your rightness and your goodness, then watch the universe deliver to you with such specifics the details that you've been carving out along your way.
Every single manifestation. Boom, 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 boom.
And when you are no longer comparing the details of your grid filling in with the details of somebody else's grid filling in, worrying about the rightness or the wrongness of yours or theirs, but instead you accept the perfection of it as it fills in. Now you've got something that you can live and teach through the power of your example.